I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I'm on it.
Hey, Freak Show! You're going nowhere!
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome back, kids and coaches, to another episode of West of Nowhere. I am alone again. I am Levi, and, like I said, I'm alone. Abandoned. One man alone to save the country he loves. If you don't get that reference, you need to watch more Transformers movies. Anyway, I am Levi, and Shane had to work, so you fucking stuck with me again. I don't know why I do that accent when I'm trying to convey that point, but I've done it a couple times now, and I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, we're back. I'm back. The show, as it were, is back. And we got a lot of sad stuff today, honestly. It's kind of depressing, so I'm going to try to make it as positive as possible. If I need to, I'll call Ragnar. Ragnar, come here. We got our resident joy maker. Come here. There he is. So ignore that messy shelf behind me. Okay, now you're stuck under the table. Get it? Okay. So what do we got? Well, first things first, I gotta thank the Patreon people: Adam Pacino, Tony Burgess, Miles Glenn, who I had a lovely conversation with the other day, Sam Norton, Natalie Tacarante, Daddy Warbucks, Mark Stadler, Master of Media, Kylie Gangwish, Colton Zamersla, and Jeremy Brazzers. If you want to be one of those Patreon people, go to the link tree. It's in the description wherever you're consuming this, and follow that link. And then at the bottom of the page, there's a little P logo, and you click on that, and it takes you to the Patreon, and you do all the things there. Also, you could go to the YouTube. From there, you can go everywhere that we have. Everywhere that we can possibly be is in that link tree. So if somebody cuts it down, we're fucked. Since I'm all alone and I got nothing but time, I'm going to read some comments so the way we record episodes, there's not always a lot of comments on the last episode. So I'm going to read some comments from my pilgrimage, video. So we have Kylie. Wait, I read Kylie's. Never mind. Old news. Pantera Girl 101 says, I think it's fantastic that you went on this trip. I'm very much in agreement with you on the viewpoint of learning and continuing to learn. It's kind of mind-boggling how little we actually learn as our basic foundation. Fucking true. Shit continues. Sounds like it was an incredible experience, and thank you for sharing with us. You're welcome. It was. And it's been nice not being sad every day since I've gotten back. Like, it was like a heavy thing. There was a lot of like really emotional things that we talked about and learned on that trip. And now, it's not like that every day when I'm at home, which is nice. But yeah, anyway, so. And then Kelly left a comment, and Kelly is my mother-in-law, my dad's wife. So thank you for watching. She said, I wish I could go on a trip like that. I totally love history. Yeah, I'm ashamed of the way black people and Native Americans were treated. Facts. It's just so wrong. Agreed. And then she says she just wants everyone to be equal. That's the way it should be. I'm glad you got to learn new stuff. Always enjoy learning new things about history. It's sad when people can't even know simple history facts like what day is D-Day. Well, yeah, June 6th, right? Fuck. It's June. I know that. So anyway, nailed it. Now I gotta look. D-Day, June 6th, 1944. Let's fucking go, bud. Yeah. So that's the comments for that. There's no comments on the last video. Wild though, it got a lot of downloads on the audio and not as many on the video, which is fine. Usually one pops off and the other's kind of like meh. And typically it's the video, but I'm fine with it. Also, weirdly enough, none of the likes are showing up on it, so I don't know what's happening with that video, but whatever. Probably because I put the word police in the top. They're censoring me, man. Yeah. So let's get into her. We got some stuff to talk about. Number one, the biggest thing going on right now is, of course, the breakup of Panic at the Disco. I know. And I understand that, Brendan is the only, like, remaining member, and he is technically just Panic at the Disco at this point. But he's like, you know what? I got a kid now. I gotta take care of, so I guess see ya. I didn't get into Panic at the Disco at all, so I'm whatever. I think he's very talented. I think Brendan is a very talented man. I think he's very funny. But yeah, I don't know. That's all I got. I'm here for emotional support for anybody that needs it, because I'm the perfect one, because I will just listen and I won't make you more sad by also being sad. So, we can move on from that. So there's that. There's been a lot of really funny memes coming out of it, though, which of course there has been. But anyway, so there's that. So I don't know how many of you watch Rick and Morty. I'm assuming not a lot, since I know most of the people that listen to the show and it's not really their jam. But Rick and Morty co-creator and voice actor Justin Roiland has been let go with from Adult Swim. They've announced that they will no longer be partnered with Justin Roiland, but that Rick and Morty will continue. Justin Roiland, if you don't know, has been charged with federal or felony counts of domestic battery with corporal injury and one felony count of false imprisonment by menace, violence, fraud, or deceit. So it sounds like he was allegedly holding somebody against their will and maybe beating them. Now, obviously, innocent until proven guilty, right? But that's a legal thing, so they can't throw you into a maximum security prison or kill you before you're determined to be one or the other. Granted, they totally kill innocent people all the time. But innocent until proven guilty really only applies to the legal system, and if the corporate conglomerate that you work for decides that they don't want to be connected to you because you kind of seem like bad press, that's within their right to do so. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. He had just entered his plea not guilty in 2020. But they haven't had a trial yet. So, and it's probably backed up with all of the COVID trials that, also got backed up. But that's, that's just how it is right now. I know a lot of people who are like, well, what the fuck are you gonna do? He is Rick and Morty. Like, he's the voices, but as far as like writing goes, I think most of his contributions are ad-libbing, if I'm not mistaken. I watched on HBO Max, when you watch Rick and Morty, some of like the later seasons that they have, at the end it talks about like the creating of the episode and why they wrote it what way, and that kind of thing. And there's a lot of writers, and also I know Dan Harmon, who is also a co-creator of the show, isn't going anywhere. I think he's a fantastic comedic writer, and I think that he is probably the bigger piece to the Rick and Morty success puzzle than Roiland would be. Also, people are like acting like this show doesn't have infinite possibilities, infinite realities. Like, you can like write in why his voice changed, or why either of their voices changed, with like one, like half a line. It reminds me of the movie Thank You for Smoking. They're trying to get a big time Hollywood producer to get cigarettes involved in this movie, and it's a space movie. And if you don't know, you're not supposed to have like flammable things, or not flammable, but fire producing things in space, because it kind of explodes. So he's like, well, that's just one line of dialogue. Oh, I'm so glad we invented the blank so we can smoke in space now. Like, that's how it's gonna. I think that's how it would end up being. Like, that's crazy that we just installed this whatever audio matronic thingamabob, and it fixed everybody's perception of how we sound. Like, it's gonna be something so simple. I feel like, just because that's just how meta the comedy is, and how fourth wall breaking they can be. So some heavyweights have weighed in, including one and only Elon Musk, who, if you don't know, he was in at least one episode. He played Elon Tusk, which is like a walrus version of Elon Musk, which I think is pretty great. And he replied to Tim Pool, who pretends like he used to be the liberal guy, but now he's conservative political commentator, akin to like Ben Shapiro. And they responded to the official Rick and Morty's tweet about Adult Swim ending its association with Justin Roiland. And then how LOL is what Tim Pool said. Justin is Rick and Morty. Like, and see, this is the thing. You got people who probably don't even watch the show making comments like this. Like, I think it's very simple. Like, I don't think it's really going to change the tone of the show at all. And even if it does, you got, they're working on season 7 right now. So you have had 7, I think, pretty good seasons of the show, if you want to call it quits. I know they said 10, but whatever. That's showbiz, baby. And then Elon Musk said he is also the heart of the show, which is, what I've been saying is not 100% fact, but it's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, I suppose. It is what it is. So now we get some less pop culture-y things going on. Well, I guess I got. No, I'll save that for the end. Lighten it back up. So there's a shooting in California last week where in Monterey Park, a 72-year-old man was the suspect, but he had shot himself in a van that police surrounded after the fact. Shooter killed 10, injured 10 others following a Lunar New Year celebration in Los Angeles County, city of Monterey Park. So, yeah, there's that. So, I don't know, obviously, with the dude dead, doesn't really... You leave us with a bunch of questions, and I'm sure a lot of those questions are going to get filled in with the blanks of some sort of psyop thing going on, but I don't know, kind of just seems like an old dude who was like, fuck it, I'm out. Like, I don't know, it could be anything, but that's what I'm going with. You're not really going to get a motive unless they go to his house and there's like written clear things going, yep, this is why I did it. So we can only speculate. Also, in a obviously a separate incident in Memphis, there was a video released of some body cam footage from the killing of Tyre? I don't know. Tyre Nichols, who was stopped at a traffic stop, and then it's hard to know what the fuck happened, but the video is him resisting arrest with cops holding him down to the ground and then macing him like a lot and then just beating the shit out of him. And good news is that all those cops, they've all been charged with murder right now, so that's a good step. And even the district attorney says that officers each played different roles in the killing. They're all responsible, so there's no like, well, this one was the one that fucking like blame shifting, I guess is what it would be. So that's positive. But yeah, it's fucking wild. I don't recommend watching it if you don't, you know, if you are like obviously just weirded out or like grossed out by it, just aggression like that, or B, if you're very like, I don't know, if you're very sensitive to any kind of like mass trauma or emotional things, don't watch it. But if you're not, watch it at least one time just so you kind of get an idea, because it's flagrant, like it's so belligerently aggressively unnecessary. Like the dude is on the ground, you have five guys, he's not swinging, he's like putting his hand up to like block his head and his eyes probably from all the fucking 70 gallons of mace that they're putting at him. But other than that, he's not really doing anything, which is not a good look by any kind of police interaction. So yeah, I don't know. It's rough. It's real rough. The police chief, I want to say, said something really I really thought was important when the video released, but I can't find the actual quote now. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I apologize. But yeah, so this is pretty much I would think murder 1, probably 2, because they're fucking cops and that's just the way it works. But yeah. Also, in other crime news, there's I guess there's a torture suspect that was caught, convicted in Nevada for keeping one woman in captivity, and then he's also been accused of torturing a woman he held captive in Oregon, and he has been using dating apps to find new victims, which I don't think this is like a news, like this isn't like, oh shit, bad people were using dating apps for things, because that's what happened with the Sydney Loof. So for those of you who don't know, Sydney Loof left work for a Tinder date and then was kidnapped and murdered by like the weirdest pairing in crime history, I think. Because there was the man Aubrey trial, and then there was this girl Bailey Boswell, and they both are convicted of first-degree murder. But like, I don't know, this like a very odd pairing, because Aubrey is this very large man. He looks like he probably works at like an AutoZone or something. Like he's, I don't know, just a regular looking dude. And then what's her Bailey Boswell is like, I don't know, this little blonde girl. Well, she's not little, she's like 5'8", but um like, I don't know. It's a very weird pairing. And I don't know why the fuck they did it, but they're in jail now, so that's good. But anyway, they used Tinder to get this girl. So this this thing saying police warn that Oregon torture suspect is using dating apps. Yeah, fucking duh. It's like, I don't know. It seems very obvious to me that that's what bad people would do. If you can, the only thing that I think prevents more people from using them is probably the fact that there is so much data consumed by like the apps that you use. So on there's a subreddit dedicated to Tinder, and there's people who like can download their information about people they match with, and like it shows how many matches you get, and like this that like a bunch of information. But if that's information that they're giving you, imagine what information they just have. Like they know who's meeting who, they know of, your devices, like information, right? So, I don't know. Also, this is why this like, I don't know. I think this is why a lot of people like that grew up hearing about stories of like the parents like, oh, there's strangers on the internet gonna fuck kidnap you. I feel like a lot of those people who got those stories told to them probably don't use these apps as much as they probably as much as they're, because if you look at it, you pull all the information out. Like, okay, there's an app that connects you with another person, and then you guys can arrange to meet somewhere in public, or like just invite the person over. I don't know. Like, it seems if a person's conniving enough, I guess they'll figure a way out with, like, no matter what. But it just seems so obvious to me. Like, hey, be careful on dating apps. Yeah, no fucking shit, dude. Be careful everywhere. There's crazy people everywhere. You can't even pull over to help people out, because that's what Ted Bundy did. He pretended he was injured and needed help with his car or some shit, and then whoop, you're in the back, you're gone. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. Also, okay, so this isn't a dark story at all. It's kind of funny, actually. So remember when Andrew Tate got arrested, and then like a week later Greta got arrested? Well, Greta was arrested at a climate protest in a German village, where people were, or I guess it's an abandoned village, but they were trying to expand this coal mine, and expand it. And obviously Greta not about that shit, because she doesn't like coal. So she shows up, gets arrested, gets carried out by these cops, which I think is one of the funniest pictures, even if it's staged. Like, that's kind of fun. Like, it reminds me of Superbad, where McLovin's like befriended those cops, and they like take him out, but he tells them to like take him out like he's like this crazy criminal, so he looks cool in front of everybody. That's kind of what it reminds me of, if it was staged. Anyway, there's another key piece of this demonstration, in which these German police officers were trying to I don't know, they were trying to capture different people, and there's this guy dressed up like an old school monk, like brown canvas looking like tunic thing, and he's got his hood over. He looks like a wizard straight out of D&D, and minus the pointy hat, right? But um so they're like walking towards him, and then they keep falling down in the mud, and this guy's just like standing there menacingly, and they just keep slipping and falling in this mud. And so they're like, well, looks like this coal mine protest has been defended by some sort of mud wizard. It's like the whole video is them just slipping and falling in the mud, and this guy just walking around looking all wizardry. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty funny. Like, I recommend watching the video, because it is hilarious. You can just type in mud wizard protest and it should come up. But yeah. So that's that. And then, oh yeah, here we go. This is the one that made me laugh, and I was like, I really enjoy the story. So hopefully it'll pick the mood up a little bit. Kind of. So in Kansas, if it exists, a man was shot around 9:40 in the morning. Okay, in a town south of Wichita. All right, just like the White Stripes song. The shooter, his dog. Okay, I don't even know if it's his dog. It just says a dog. I'm assuming it's his dog, but so this guy had a rifle in the back of his truck, and the dog had stepped on the rifle, and he stepped on it in such a way that it fired and then shot this guy. So anyway, and so the guy was in the truck, and the rifle in the back of the truck. Dog steps on it, shoots the guy. Anyway, he's found dead. So the dog murdered this guy. This dog, straight up Alec Baldwin this dude. And I guess it's not really that funny, but I don't know, just the idea of like, you go through life as a guy who has guns in your truck, and you're like, nobody's gonna fuck with me, man. and then your dog ends up killing you. Like I don't know. It just some things just write themselves, right? Like maybe it's not funny. I don't know. I don't know, man. Whatever. Okay. Also, I mentioned police video earlier. There's also a video of when Paul Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi's husband, got um got attacked, and it's fucking wild. Like it shows the cop, like it's the cops coming in, and it shows their body cam, and then they are at the front door, and Paul's standing there, and this guy's got him, like, by the shoulder, and he's got a hammer in his other hand. And then I didn't hear what they said specifically, but he just hauls off and cracks him. And that's, he was attacked a while ago, but I guess it wasn't a while ago. It was like 3 months ago. But yeah, so that fucking video is pretty wild. Like he gets attacked by cops right after. So I don't know how extensive, but if you get cracked one time in the head with a hammer, that's gonna do some damage, I feel. Ragnar agrees. So there's that. Jay Leno, remember when he caught on fire like a few months ago? Well, now he's got broken bones because he was in a motorcycle accident. So, dude just like is just living his best life right now. Broken collarbone and a couple of broken ribs and 2 cracked kneecaps is what Leno has said that what happened. And he clotheslined himself on on poles in a parking lot. So he was like making a turn, and then he just drove into this one of those wires that cross between the poles. So yeah, and he got the other injuries in November. Yeah, so I don't know. Seems like Jay needs to slow down. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of how it seems. Also, Damar Hamlin released a video, so guess he's not dead. Guess he's not a body in a bag, or is he a deep fake? Is he just now he's clone? They cloned him, and the reason that they cloned him is so that they could sell more football games, right? Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know what the conspiracy theorists say, other than the fact that that video is a deep fake. Even though I don't know, I know deep fakes are kind of convincing. But if you know what videos usually look like, I don't think they are. I think there's always like a little bit of like you just kind of know it's not 100%. And I think that is pretty obvious most of the time, but maybe they spent crazy Star Wars money on it, Why? To fool us. So we think that he's alive, so that we'll continue to think that he's around. Yep. I guess probably the real conspiracy thought is probably that, oh, well, if he's still alive, then it's safe to continue taking vaccines because that's what killed him. All of the heart attacks that have ever happened since 2020, all related to the vaccine. Definitely no other reason that it could happen. So that's kind of that's what I'm seeing anyway. This big pharma just propping him up. Aaron Rodgers knew all about it. Fucking Aaron Rodgers, dude. He was quoted as to saying that big pharma has been trying to make him look bad by purposely, and also like the media itself is trying to make him look bad by purposefully releasing uncontextualized quotes and things. But I don't know, dude. I kind of think that I hated you since before COVID. I don't think Big Pharma really gives 2 fucks about you. So maybe they are, but I doubt it. I feel like they would probably be better suited spending their money on, like somebody that is universally liked and not somebody who's kind of just mostly liked by people who think that he's some sort of like, this is the crazy thing, is that he thinks that people are making his messages political. That's not how he is. And, that's his thing. Like, you guys are just making this a political thing, and that's not what it is. Okay, but the people who are supporting you now that weren't supporting you before are only doing so because of a political thing. Like, they think that every time you say anything about the woke or anything like that, which I have my own problems with people saying that because I think they're fucking stupid, but whatever. I think it's such a confusing thing because, what's crazy is woke used to be like, stay woke. Like, I figured out this conspiracy, so you need to wake up. And now woke is all of a sudden it's anything that's, I guess left leaning, but you have things like Tucker Carlson freaking out about the removal of the stilettos from the green M&M because that's important. Or this is the biggest thing, and I'm glad I remembered it. The fucking people freaking out because Xbox was like, "Hey, we have an energy efficient mode." And people are like, "Oh, really? You're just trying to get our kids to care about the environment? Fuck you, Xbox. I don't teach my kids about the environment for a fucking reason. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. It's my job. You're not their parent. You didn't have sex with their mom. I did, okay?" And like, that rant was fictionalized, but it's pretty close. Like, there was a whole Fox News segment that I've seen, and then there's probably been more, where they're saying, "Oh, this is indoctrination into teaching kids about like global warming. This is indoctrinating them into like that kind of thought process. Just a bunch of communist propaganda to make kids care about the environment." Like, that's what they said, minus the communist propaganda thing. But that's what they fucking said. It couldn't possibly be that Microsoft is like, let's make an energy efficient mode so people's power bills aren't so expensive. It couldn't possibly be that maybe running that console full steam all the time is probably not good for it. It couldn't possibly be either of those things. No, it's probably a plan to get your kids to hate America. So, like, that thought process, the fucking, I'm gonna go straight to like, this is a woke thing, this is a cancel culture thing, that's that kind of thinking is so half-baked and fucking stupid. Like, I wish they would invite me on Fox News to talk about it, because it's such a fucking dumb thing. Like, I remember when the Xbox 360 came out, my dad got one. And if you're familiar with the 360, they had that power block, right? That plugged into the wall, and then into the power block, and then the power block plugged in the Xbox. And I'm assuming there's some sort of electronic reasoning why it wasn't just a direct line from the wall into the Xbox. But I don't know what it is because I'm not an electrician. I'm sorry. But what I do know is that my dad, when he wouldn't be playing that thing, he had it for a while, and he was like, "Dude, this thing, like, that power block stays on even if the Xbox is shut off, right?" So he's like, "This is draining power." And he lived in like a very old house, and he's trying to be, conscious of where the electricity went and when it was on, things like that. So he unplugged the block from the wall until he was gonna play, and he noticed vast savings. I mean, not like thousands of dollars on his electrical bill, but a noticeable amount just from doing that one thing. And so this new thing that they're talking about is essentially doing that, but in the modern system, because you can just plug straight into the Xbox. So I don't know. I don't think it's like a propaganda thing to try and make your kids care about the environment. I think it's probably more like, we don't want you to burn our machines up because that makes us look bad, and we don't want you to spend crazy amounts of money on electrical bills if you don't have to. You know what I mean? That could be me. I don't know. Got my good rant in though for the day, so that's good. Let's do the fucking Billboard 200. Huh? Number 1, SOS by SZA. Number 2, Midnight's Taylor Swift. Number 3, Heroes and Villains by Metro Boomin. Number 4, Her Loss, Drake and 21 Savage. Jesus. Up from 36 to 5, The Highlights, The Weeknd. Number 6, Un Vierno Sin Ti. 7, Dangerous Double Album, Morgan Wallen. 8, American Heartbreak, Zach Bryan. 9, It's Only Me by Lil Baby. And number 10, Harry's House by Harry Styles. That's it. That's it for this episode. Thank you to everyone for sticking with me through the loneliness that this is. I hope my ramblings were coherent enough to make it enjoyable. Thank you to our friends, Kicking It with the Kellys, The Remedy Room, Dutch in Denver, No New Friends. If you want to find out where to find them, click the link tree in the description, linktr.ee/WOKPOD. Excuse me. Yeah. So do that. Like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Leave us a review wherever possible. And that's it. I've had enough. Peace out, bitch.